So I just, I mentioned at the beginning that you have you authored 3 books.
Yes.
Can you give us the titles and how people could buy them or purchase them, and how can they get them?
Okay, so the first book I wrote is called It Was Written and Engraved. This book is basically a series of essays from the blueprint of creation to the transatlantic slave trade. This book opens you up to understanding some very esoteric aspects of Torah, as well as some very literal aspects of Torah. I begin by talking about Genesis 1 in detail and breaking down what the term light meant as conveyed, not just from a biblical point of view, but from a scientific point of view. I end out and I close the book with some very, very powerful themes regarding the transatlantic slave trade as foretold in Deuteronomy 28:68. The second book I authored is called Ancient Kemet on Trial. This book was designed to counter-rebuttal the harsh attacks coming from the newly found Kemetic community. And by newly found, I mean 20, 30 years ago, nobody heard of these guys. These guys are your Johnny-come-latelys in the so-called community of black liberation leaders and movements. Israelites have been around from the beginning, from the inception. This is not a shot, this is just the truth. So again, this book was designed to counter-rebuttal that entire community. I did not speak at a major event that we held almost a full year ago entitled Kemet on Trial. So I took my entire PowerPoint lecture and I put it in book form. And I tell you, man, the book been selling like hotcakes. People definitely have been enjoying the book. They've been inspired by it. And there's so much that people have been empowered with in terms of what I went into the book. The book definitely rearranges the very frame of mind of anybody who may be thinking that the Bible was plagiarized from ancient African stories. This is not the truth. This couldn't be further removed from the truth. We as Israelites would recognize the contribution of places like Kemet or ancient Egypt to black or Afrocentric history, but that doesn't negate the Israelite contribution to history, which is unique in that our contribution cannot be told anywhere else outside of Torah. And we want to make that clear. The last book I wrote is called Matriarchs of the Covenant. This book was designed to empower women. You know, this book came from my experiences. I visited a lot of temples, not just New York City, but throughout the country. And the main gripe and complaint from sisters was that they did not see themselves portrayed in the teachings. They felt like most places were geared towards empowering men because naturally in an Israelite setting, men grow up to become the teachers. As a result, sometimes as teachers, we tend to focus only on the men as a result. Right. So some of the women have felt left out over the years. And then because of places that are extremely paramilitary and even against, in my opinion, Torah, sisters have felt downright disrespected by some of the male opinions with regard to Torah. So this book specifically shows you the greatness of a woman. This book is basically a glorified exposition of, Proverbs 31. I take the virtuous woman to a whole nother level in that book. Yeah.
Great. So basically, and you can find these books on Amazon?
These books are available on Amazon.com. You can go on, you could type in my author name, which is also my Hebrew name, which is Avdiel Ben Levi, spelled A-V-D-I-E-L, Ben Levi, L-E-V-I. Also, you can go to Barnes & Noble's online and type in the same name. Or if you have a Barnes & Noble's location near you, you can go to the front desk, give them my name, they search it, and if the book is not on their shelf, they order it for you, and it can either come to your house or it can come directly to Barnes & Noble's.
Okay, so